What's up, everybody? It's Danny from the Constitution State here today. I hope everybody's having a good day. Today's video is wild, and there's a ton of information here, so I'm going to try and get through it as quickly as I can. Mentally ill man, Connecticut prisoner assaulted by guard, awarded $250,000 plus $121,000. And I'm not going to read everything, so if you want to stop it and read it, go ahead. On March 3rd, 2006, a federal jury in Connecticut awarded $250,000 to a mentally ill state prisoner who was beaten by a high-ranking prison guard at Northern Correctional. According to his amended complaint, Dwayne Zimba, a mentally ill prisoner with a long history of self-destructive behavior, was treated by psychiatrists at Gardner on August 11, 1998 after exhibiting symptoms of extreme agitation and anxiety. While at the Gardner unit, Zimba was sedated with large doses of Ativan, an antipsychotic medication. The treating psychiatrist ordered that Zimba be given 2 milligrams of Ativan every 6 hours from August 12th through August 18th. On August 12th, Zimba was transferred to Northern Correctional Institution. Rather than provide his prescribed medication, however, personnel at Northern decided the more therapeutic route was to restrain and beat him. Zimba was placed in 4-point restraints, which connected handcuffs to leg shackles for 22 hours straight. Even when used appropriately, the Connecticut Department of Corrections' own training manual recognizes such restraints can lead to injuries and fatalities. While restrained, Zimba was beaten and maced by Captain Sebastian, whatever that is, in the presence of 6 other guards. During the ensuing 22 hours, Zimba was left face down on a steel bunk sans mattress, given no liquids, fed only once, and denied the psychotropic medications that had been prescribed to him at Gardner. Zimba was also prohibited from using the toilet and consequently urinated on himself. Moreover, Zimba was never given a single dose of Ativan from August 12th to 18th. And it goes to show that there's really no point in having medical staff there or psychiatrists or anything, because these guards that have no training and no schooling at all do whatever they want regardless. There's a pattern of that. This video takes place years later. So somebody sent me this video. There's no real description or any information with the video, but I found this lawsuit that he filed years later, and it appears to be for this.
I was assigned on as camera operator. Pro 11, Lieutenant's office.
Stop resisting! Stop resist, staff!
Give me your goddamn hand! You assaulted me!
Give
me your goddamn hand!
You're gonna be
You're gonna grab me!
Zimba, give up your hands! Do not resist, staff! Give up your arms!
Just hold the camera back, caution.
All right!
Resist! Do not resist,
All
staff!
right.
Inmate Zimba!
Give me your goddamn hand! You got cuffs! I do.
Zimba, give up your arms, Zimba!
You injured me!
I need leg irons.
Leg irons!
Go back to control with his leg irons.
I'll do whatever you say!
Zimba, relax, Zimba. Let him put the cuffs on.
I am!
All right.
I'll do anything you say!
Ben, allow them to play the cuffs on. Do not move your arms.
Here, I'll move my hands farther behind me.
That's fine.
Here.
You are complying right now.
So Rosie taking over for Lieutenant Butler on the camera.
I'm not resisting.
You are complying right now.
I'm not resisting.
Who's highly assaulted? I want to see the state police.
Camera, get out here. Operator, get radar. Stay on.
Do we have ambulance?
Stop. Stop the escort. Everybody stop. Stop right now, gents. Stop. Let's get ankle irons on. Inmate Zimba, you need to stand up straight. All right.
They violently assaulted me. I want to see the state police. I can't walk if he dragged me.
You're not grabbing the step. Hey, wait. Slow down just a little bit.
They violently assaulted me for no reason. It's retaliation due to my lawsuits. I want to see the state police.
Stand up.
I got head injuries. I can't walk.
Hey.
They violently assaulted me for no reason.
Stand him up again.
They beat me on the ground for
Place him
no
up
reason.
against the wall. Place him up against the wall. Good. Put your head up.
I can't see or breathe.
I need the That's the stretcher. I need down in the Delta Bravo hallway.
They violently beat me. I want to see the state police immediately.
All right, keep the camera on the inmate. The staff has the inmate in the correct position right now, all right? They have him in the reverse wrist lock. There's no technique being applied. There's
They
movement in the
violently beat
inmate's
me. They're
wrist right
standing on the
here.
shackles trying to break my ankles.
There's movement right there. This is inmate
What about them
Zimba.
violently beating me?
I do not have all the information on
They
the
violently
first
beat me on the
name
floor.
or his number
Officer
right now.
Wing did.
A code orange was called in the lieutenant's office.
That's because Officer Wing and John violently beat
Be
me.
quiet now.
No, you be quiet. They violently assaulted me.
Be quiet.
They violently beat me on the floor. Tell me to be quiet. Call the state police.
I'll give all the information in my summary on videotape when the inmate is restrained.
Captain Judd
Full stationary
and Wing. Guard Wing and Captain Judd violently beat me. They're trying to break my wrist. They're trying to
Are
break
you
my
okay,
right
Wing? Do
wrist.
you have any exposure? Okay, you're good. All right, how about you, brother? You all set? Okay, good. You get a little on your glove. Are those gloves holding up? Somebody swap. Who's got blue gloves on? Good. Swap out with Haney. I want you to put blue.
Ah!
Stop resisting.
I'm not resisting. You're a liar. You're a liar. Ah!
Stop resisting.
You're breaking my wrist.
As you can see, there is no technique being applied
Yes,
to
it
the
is. My
inmate.
wrist is
He is
fully
feigning
red.
injury right now, all right?
Now they
Not
stopped.
in the position.
Now they stopped. You're a liar.
Okay, what we're gonna do is we're gonna rotate you onto the stretcher. You need to be compliant
Tell
with
me
the
what to
staff.
do and
all
I'll
right?
do it. You don't
Okay,
need to
good.
lie and beat me
Back the
again.
inmate up, place him on the stretcher. Get those straps down. Put him down, yeah.
You don't need to violently beat me
Sit
again.
down. Sit him down this way. There you go, good. Now,
I can't
slowly
sit
put
up.
him up, place him on there. Somebody hold his legs down. Counselor, hold his legs down. Get on his legs. Get on his legs. Lay him on his back. Lay him on his back. Like that. Good. Put the straps over right now. Put this one over. All right. Put at least one strap over his torso. All right, we're gonna go directly over to inpatient where we're gonna decontaminate his face right now. Somebody can get a hold of mental health, get him over here. We're gonna see if he's gonna either be, you got it? Placed in a captain one in this building.
I'm not combative. You guys violently
All
beat
right,
me.
place him again in the reverse wrist lock and escort him up to the shower area. You got it? Okay. Okay, inmate Simba, what they're gonna do is spray cool water in your face and your eyes. Open your eyes. Allow the water to open your eyes up. Allow the agent to come out of your eyes.
Breathe.
Okay.
Stand up, inmate Simba.
I can't
Inmate Simba,
breathe.
you can breathe. Stand up. Stand up and breathe fully in your lungs. Feel your lungs. Clear. Okay, take the water away from his face for a second. Take the water away. You get any breath? Inmate Zimba, can you hear me? Inmate Zimba, can you hear me? Huh? Can you hear me? Okay, good. The inmate is nodding up and down indicating that you can hear me.
Shut up. I can't breathe. I need water.
Stand back up.
I need water.
Stand back up. Stand
Please
up.
wash it.
Stand
Please
up.
wash it off.
Relax. Relax. You're going to receive further decontamination when you get secured into your cell, but at this time what we need to do is we're going to in-cell you. Place him back on the stretcher. I need mental health and medical to come over here, please. Conduct an assessment of the inmate.
That's not a decontamination.
Again, remove him off the stretcher, upright him, let's place him on the bed. What we're gonna do is we're gonna sit you down on the bunk. You guys who wants to take the lead on the in-cell? Bill? You wanna take the lead on the in-cell? We're gonna do, inmate Zimba, we're gonna put you in in-cell restraint to this time, all right? Any aggressive act you make will be taken as aggressive act.
You guys beat me. All you gotta do is tell me what to do.
Okay, are you gonna be fully compliant?
Yes, I am. They don't, there's no reason to hurt me further.
Yeah. Somebody hit you on the head, please. Can you get a full set of in-cells down here?
And a small restraint set.
No, we're doing in-cell restraint. Yes, we're doing in-cell hard restraint.
I need to be decontaminated. You're ignoring that fact.
I'm not ignoring it. You were decontaminated in the shower.
I wasn't. I can't take the pain. You need to decontaminate. That wasn't adequate.
Let's just sit tight. Camera operator, what do you got on the,
He's intentionally inflicted torture
As of right
by
now,
not
we're
being-
coming up on 13 minutes.
by not
let me
decontaminating
know when
me.
you get in the ballpark of like 20 or so we're gonna have another camera stand by. We'll rotate that one out and start the other one simultaneously.
He's intentionally not decontaminating.
Send out a small restraint set as well. And so just keep the camera on, I'm gonna give a little narration here on the inmate, keep the camera on the inmate, please. Inmate Zimba, code orange was called approximately 10 minutes ago at about 7:40.
Because Judd and Wing and
Be
others
quiet,
violently
please.
beat me.
Be quiet.
You people
And,
violently beat me.
Staff responded, I responded, the inmate was observed actively resisting on the
I wasn't
ground.
resisting, you beat
Staff
me.
were attempting to secure him, inmate Zimba.
I didn't do nothing.
963.
You called me for legal bail and got hostile due to I'm suing the
Momentarily
DOC.
decontaminated in the shower.
No, I wasn't.
Patient.
I can't
This
take the
time,
burn.
we're waiting for a
Decontaminate
set
me.
of full in-cell restraints.
You're lying.
to appear.
You're lying.
Put him in cell restraints at the time, and then, you know, we're gonna further.
You think it's funny that they
decontaminate
beat
with
me?
some water.
I want to see the state police. A crime's been committed.
Keep your head up, please. Just keep your head up, right?
They're ready to choke me now. They killed Timothy Perry, Brent Wiseman, and Kisman by asphyxiating them. And they beat me on the floor, maced me, they needed to decontaminate me, and the restraints were too tight. Captain Judd, who's still here in contact with me, it's unlawful for him to be the supervisor because he beat me. Then Officer Wing, who violently assaulted me, you ask him to call the state police? You're corrupt. I want to see the state police document and hate my injuries and give a statement. I was violently attacked and beaten for no reason. You people set me up, you called me up for legal mail and violently attacked me for no reason. You brought me where there was no video coverage, you violently attacked me and beat me. It was a planned attack. Who's the medical nurse here? Who's the nurse here?
Relax.
Who's the nurse? Identify yourself.
We're gonna get past this.
I want the state official to identify themselves. Who's the nurse present? Who's letting this torture continue? Who's the nurse present?
I'm here, and I'm Chuck.
Chuck?
That's right.
All right, Chuck. You're condoning the unlawfulness.
Probably.
I'm pleading with you to order for them to medically decontaminate me.
I'm
I
telling you.
cannot take the burden.
I'm telling you, keep quiet and just relax and do what you gotta do.
Be quiet, so you're not gonna provide me medical care?
We're trying. We just like to do it quietly.
No, decontamination is mandated and you're denying that. You're intentionally torturing me and you know the handcuffs are too tight.
You've already been in the shower. I'm not gonna argue with you.
10 seconds is not adequate, Chuck, the nurse. What's your last name? Identify yourself.
Figure it out when you get out of restraints.
Now he's hiding his identity.
There you go.
Just stay there, just relax, right? Relax.
Call the state police.
All right, let's take the camera over here. This is Lieutenant Leva. The time right now is 8:12 p.m. We're up here in the medical inpatient unit of the Corrigan Building, Corrigan Rogowski Correctional Center. It's the 1st of September 2009. I responded to a code orange up in the lieutenant's office. Upon reporting to the scene of the code orange, I observed inmate Zimba on the ground. He appeared to be resistant staff. There's still a staff member on there attempting to restrain him. Captain Judd, the ship commander, asked me to take over the incident. We restrained the inmate, and just coming through Hall 1 into the Bravo Delta hallway, it was noticed that the inmate was refusing to walk. He was feigning pain in his ankles. The entire time, the restraints were applied in the correct fashion, except for initially during the in-cell restraints, and they were adjusted at the proper looseness or tightness, however you want to have it. Inmate Zimba 128963 was then taken in here. He was decontaminated for 2 minutes. Inmate is breathing fine. I'm a chemical weapons operator, instructor, and chemical weapons certified for the state, or at least was years ago, and are now in order to carry this. And having looked at the inmate, because he can open his eyes and he can talk and breathe fine, there's no mucus or saliva emanating from his nostrils and mouth. clearly indicates that he is probably about 3/4 to almost fully decontaminated. He was given about a couple minutes, 3 minutes in the shower, sprayed his facial area. There was no real way to determine how much agent he was exposed to. However, looking at his facial area, since there wasn't any orange coloration on his face, indicates he had a very low level of...
He fell off.
He did?
He rolled over on his own.
He did? He rolled off. Okay. The inmate just flailed off the bed onto his side. He could have rotated up and sat down, but now he's flailed over and on his side inside the cell. Camera operator, would you please show this? Inmate Zimba. Inmate Zimba. Listen up. Do you want to go back on here or are you comfortable on the floor? Huh? Yeah. Are you comfortable on the floor or do you want to go on the mattress? All right. Listen, the staff are gonna help upright. They're gonna move you upright.
No, that's okay.
Just work with them. Just work. Relax. No, relax. Right here. Relax. Let me see here. Don't have fear of you people. Please don't touch me. Please don't touch me. Sit him on the mattress. There you go. Okay, there you go. Now scoot him down towards me so his head is on the mattress, all right? Hold the mattress steady and then hold him. I need medical treatment immediately. Okay, good. Okay, good. So he makes on the mattress now. He's in a stable position. He's comfortable. Okay, he isn't still. Okay, let's exit the cell, please.
I need medical teaching.
Continue the recording. The inmate was, he rolled off his bunk in there. We put the mattress back on there and set him back up on top. He appears to be stable right now. We're going to put an officer on a one-on-one on him with a video camera on standby. In the event that he acts up, we'll be able to record his mannerisms, if you will. Other than that, there were no staff injuries. The inmate was decontaminated. He's placed in cell 113 on a Q15-minute watch per the shift commander. This is Lieutenant Lee signing off.
817 CO was set signing off scanner.
The plaintiff alleges that on July 14, 2009, in a visiting room at Corrigan Correctional Institution, Assistant Attorney General Ann Lynch deposed him in connection with another lawsuit. During the deposition, Correctional Officer Wing, who was present in the room for safety and security reasons, allegedly took a step towards the plaintiff with closed fists in an attempt to assault him. The plaintiff claims that the attorney Lynch failed to take any action to restrain or reprimand Officer Wing and refused to replace him with another correctional officer. Officer Wing escorted the plaintiff back to his cell after the deposition. Before the plaintiff reached his cell, Officer Wing hit and pushed the plaintiff in the back and warned the plaintiff that if he continued to litigate his lawsuits, that he would suffer harm. Later that day, the plaintiff allegedly sent letters to defendants Deputy Commissioner Strange, Warden Coletti, and Commissioner Murphy regarding the alleged assaultive conduct by Officer Wing during the deposition and Officer Wing's threats after the deposition, and requested that he be immediately transferred. On July 24, 2009, the plaintiff allegedly filed a grievance addressed to Deputy Commissioner Strange, Warden Coletti, and Commissioner Murphy. In the grievance, the plaintiff described the alleged assaultive conduct by Officer Wing during the deposition and Officer Wing's threats after the deposition. The plaintiff requested that he be immediately transferred to another prison for his own safety and an investigation into the incidents be undertaken. On July 28, 2009, the plaintiff allegedly sent letters to all of them again regarding the alleged assaultive conduct by Wing. And in this one, he also states that Counselor Meigs and defendant Butler and White had threatened him. The plaintiff requested that he be immediately transferred to another prison for his own safety and that an investigation be undertaken. On August 12, 2009, the plaintiff allegedly sent letters to all of them again, claiming that Officer Wing had directed him to drop all of his lawsuits against the Department of Corrections. The plaintiff requested that he be immediately transferred to another prison for his own safety and that an investigation be undertaken. So it's at 3 times now he's requested to move. On August 20th, 2009, Attorney Lynch returned to Corrigan to continue the plaintiff's deposition. The plaintiff made a statement on the record claiming that his safety was in danger and then he refused to continue with the deposition. The plaintiff alleges that on September 1st, 2009, Attorney Lynch, Captain Judd, Lieutenants Butler and White, and Officer Wing and Haney were responsible for having an order issued that he report to a lieutenant's office. Once he reached the office, Captain Judd and Lieutenant Butler ordered the plaintiff to a secluded back room. Captain Judd was hostile towards the plaintiff and asked whether he would drop his lawsuits against the Department of Corrections. When the plaintiff replied no, Captain Judd and Officer Wing and Haney punched and kicked the plaintiff repeatedly and smashed his glasses. Lieutenant Butler sprayed the plaintiff in the face with a chemical agent. The plaintiff lost consciousness at times during the alleged beating. Because the plaintiff was unable to walk, correction employees transported the plaintiff to a medical unit via stretcher and placed him in cell 113. The defendants refused to properly decontaminate the plaintiff from the effects of the chemical agent. Correctional officers, blah, 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 arrived to the scene in response to the code orange initiated by the correctional employee. These defendants either joined in the beating or failed to intercede to stop it. After the defendants ceased assaulting the plaintiff, they applied handcuffs to the plaintiff's wrists. The cuffs were allegedly applied so tight that the plaintiff's blood circulation was cut off and he suffered nerve damage. The plaintiff remained in restraints from 8 p.m. to 10:15 p.m. The plaintiff lost conscious during this time period. The plaintiff claims that at some point during his time period, Captain Judd informed him that Attorney Lynch had advised correctional personnel to rough him up a little bit and transfer him to segregation. But things got out of hand. He suggested that the use of force would not have occurred had the plaintiff withdrawn his lawsuits. But on September 2nd, 2009, the plaintiff attempted blank by cutting his left arm with a blade. Medical personnel transferred the plaintiff to the University of Connecticut Health Center for treatment of his various injuries. The plaintiff claims that Captain Judd, all of them again, knew he was at risk to harm himself. They also only transferred him to the hospital, despite him asking multiple times, when the state troopers were coming to file charges against him. I read that in another thing. And of course, their defense was negligence claims, saying that they're protected. You know, when any of us commit a crime, we can't go in court and say that ignorance or negligence is a defense. Well, if you work for their gang, you clearly can. And since he was going after the assistant attorney general, they claimed that she had absolute immunity. And they also claimed that it should be dismissed because it was implausible claims. The defendants offer a second argument for dismissal of all claims against defendant Lynch. They contend that the claims should be dismissed as implausible. And here's more about it. They said that it stretches the bounds of credulity to allege that the correctional defendants would viciously assault the plaintiff at the request of AAG Lynch, or that she would make the request or instructions in the first place. And it stretches them even more to allege that defendant Judd would then so inform the plaintiff. Not really. Does anybody believe that? That this is out of bounds, it stretches the truth? This was their response to her absolute immunity. The alleged instruction by defendant Lynch to harm the plaintiff in retaliation for his filing lawsuits does not constitute conduct that is immediately or closely associated with the judicial process or part of the regular advocacy functions of an assistant attorney general defending the state officials in prisoner civil rights litigation. Thus, the court concludes that defendant Lynch has not met her burden of demonstrating that she is entitled to absolute immunity with regard to that claim, the July 14, 2009 deposition, and denied with respect to the claims related to instruction and the claims related to the August 20th, 2009 deposition. He also said that they falsified their incident reports and other records relating to the two incidents that occurred on September 1st, 2009. He also said that they lied regarding the video cameras used to film the incidents. They claimed that both video cameras had malfunctioned, but in fact, one had functioned properly. On November 21st, 2011, the court concluded that the 1st, 8th, and 14th Amendment claims, as well as state law claims, should proceed against the defendants. Defendants Lynch, Murphy, Strange, LaJoy, and Coletti moved to dismiss the claims against them for the reasons set forth below. The motion is granted in part and denied in part. Does anybody believe that these were implausible claims? Because I do not. And I think there's a lot worse things that happen in these prisons that they get to cover up and nobody ever even hears about. I would tend to believe that these correctional officers are worse than cops. They get away with way more than cops. I mean, just look at all the stuff from the past few years. Jury awards $1.3 million to former CT inmate who says he was stabbed by a prison guard. The guard was using his key to stab the dude's hand because he wouldn't close his food port. Or how about this, where the ex-deputy warden was arrested and sentenced for doing things with inmates that he wasn't supposed to be doing. And it's weird because you can't even find really anything on that. Yeah, it's old, but it's not that old. How about this one? Family of Connecticut inmates suing state over meningitis death. This was Tony Pedraza. I was in there with him. This is when they were forcing 110 people to sleep on the gym floor in Corrigan. I literally bonded out right before he got sick, and I literally was back in there 3 days after he died. Legal documents show that 24-year-old Pedraza of Willimantic first reported severe headaches, vomiting, and other symptoms to officials at Corrigan on June 28, 2012. He said he was serving time for a probation violation on a drug charge. He continued to complain and was brought to the prison infirmary on July 6th. Over a week later, he had a 101.6 degree temperature and they treated it with Motrin. On July 7th, Pedraza was not able to stand without the assistance of staff. He was taken to the emergency room at Bacchus on July 7th with 103 degree fever, diagnosed with bacterial meningitis, and he was transferred to the University of Connecticut, John Dempsey Hospital in Farmington. Doctors at UConn performed emergency surgery to treat an abscess in his brain, but he died on July 13th, 2012. They also don't tell anybody how he had to move his bed to right outside the bathroom in the gym, and people had to help him just get out of bed to use the bathroom, to do anything. Or how he had already been in jail 6 months and they were telling him that he was detoxing. That's what they were telling him when he first started going. And how about this one? Video of naked, shackled CT inmates' fatal beating as disturbing as George Floyd. And the state does not want to release this video. Here's a still shot. They said they were trying to get control of a handcuffed man with a spit mask over his face that's clearly already in control. Oh, and here's something actually happened to a correctional guard's son doing life. Maybe they'll actually do something or care now that it was one of their kids, one of their family members. And there's stuff like this in the news all the time. Corrigan correctional officer assaulted elderly inmate, police say. But what's mind-blowing is that this really should be in the news daily. This is happening daily across our state, and yet these officers rarely get held accountable. So is it out of the realm of possibility that a corrupt system like this that gets paid off tax money, gets funded off tax dollars and federal money, and then turns around and charges the people that they forced to stay there, that they wouldn't do something like this, that they wouldn't listen to the assistant attorney general and assault somebody over litigation? I believe they would. I believe they would. They don't want anything getting in the way of how things go now, how things are going, how things have been going. They like it just as it is. They like the public being in the dark, and they don't want anything that's going to get in the way of that. Prison to them is a way to make more money off of us. Why do you think they send everybody to jail for these petty ass crimes that nobody should be going to jail for? Why do you think jail is always the answer? Why do you think these judges don't have a second thought about sending somebody to jail for nothing? Because it's making money for their gang. I think it's wild that they can literally kidnap somebody and force you to go to jail, and then they're gonna turn around, make everybody else pay for it and still make money off of it, and then turn around and charge the people that they forced to sit in jail. And these same correctional officers, the unions, are the same ones crying when the governor gives people more time out of their cell. Back when I went to Corrigan, you'd get 2 hours out of your cell a day. That's it. Now you get a mandated 6 hours out. And the officers are having a fit because they actually have to do more work. You know what I mean? Instead of just sitting around for 22 hours out of the day. Now they can only sit around for 18. And anything that happened after that, they blamed on the governor and the mandate, like this. A statement released Saturday. President Mike Vargo says there was no life-threatening injuries to inmates or significant injuries to staff during the incident. He says it's the second such incident at the facility in the past year, and both have happened during the governor's executive order and legislative mandated inmate recreational time. That's just retarded to say. Obviously, it happened on rec. How are people going to fight if they're in their cell? So it would have happened regardless. But it's real stupid to say, oh, it happened during the mandated time. It was going to happen anyways. They want to leave people in their cells all day. That's what they want. They want to be able to leave everybody locked up so they can just sit around. That's what they do 95% of the time as it is anyways. Even if inmates are out, they're still just sitting around. Vargo says this is another example of increased danger in Connecticut correctional facilities since the laws changed. He points to Thursday's assault of an officer at Cheshire Correctional Institute and the assault of 2 officers at Garner Correctional Institution on Tuesday. That's part of the job. You want to work where things stay locked up all day? Go work at the zoo. Don't cry about part of the job. Oh, well, we got to let people out more. We got to work more. Don't like it? Get a different career. Nobody wants to hear you cry like a pussy. But let me know what everybody thinks about this. I thought this was wild, and I thought this should be seen. Imagine how many times this has happened since then. This is probably pretty much a daily basis thing. And it rarely gets out. It rarely ever gets out. But let me know what you guys think. Leave it in the comments, and we'll talk about it.